Good morning, Maria, back with another video. It's 6:30, November 20th, and I am on my way to work. And this morning I got up and a few minutes ago, I should say. And I got up, everything was pretty normal. But then I heard my neighbor outside, and I looked outside and I was kind of like, what's going on, right? And then I thought maybe he was hosing down the patio, not the patio, but the pavement. And I kept thinking, why was he doing that this early in the morning? But whatever, I just kind of shrugged my shoulders. And then as I opened the door, I realized it was raining. I'm like, wow. When I opened the door, I kept thinking, man, he sure covered a lot of pavement, but then it was like, duh, it's raining. I didn't see that one coming. That kind of threw me off. So anyway, I'm in an okay mood this morning, but I have been doing a lot of thinking still, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. There's been so much going on in my head right now, and a lot going on in my life right now, just a lot of thinking and reflecting back, so I keep like little set times, for when I'm going to do things, and if something happens. It's not like a diary, but it's more like a, I don't know, like, if something happens that's significant, then I usually do write it down, just lately, okay? Why? Because there's a lot going on in my life, and so I just kind of take notice of it, or take note of it, for future reference, or whatever. Anyway, so I decided to, when the weather gets colder, I usually wear my hair out. Meaning, like, I just go ahead and switch between the bun and the hair coming, the other half wig. I wear half wig, okay? So I decided to wear that, and I put down on the date that I was going to do that. And I kept thinking, I don't really give a fuck what my sister Tanya thinks, or my mother thinks, or anyone else thinks. This is practical stuff. And, I think that when you're a targeted individual, everything that you do is monitored and reported back to these people that really don't have any say or right to say anything about your personal life. But, like this morning when I got up and I peeked out the window because I heard some noise, I kept thinking, was this some sort of, because when you're a targeted individual, there's a lot of same time exit and entry. You'll notice that some of your neighbors will come out when you come out, right? And I'm not saying that this happens all the time, but it does happen, and it is part of the tactics of the campaign. So you never know, And so I noticed that kind of happened to me in the past, and I've been taking notice of it. Now I don't know if he was out there, trying to pay attention to what I was doing or anything like that. I don't know, but I'm just saying is I'm aware of the different tactics that gang stalkers use, and so I think I made myself pretty clear, and I just I'm just trying to get on with my life. So today I'm going to be working. When I get home, I'm going to work on my PowerPoint, and then I'm going to be doing some cooking. I'm a little confused about this particular recipe that I'm making, because I'm not sure if there's a difference between broth and stock. I think they're the same thing, but I'm just going to make sure. I'm not an expert cook, but I just, during the autumn season, I like a lot of things that can be made in the crock pot, or a lot of autumn type foods like squash and cooking in my crock pot, things that are easy to make and things that are warm. During the summertime I try to eat things that are cooler, that don't require a lot of heat, although I do cook, but still, so I try, to prepare enough food that's going to last me for a few days. So I'm just going to be doing some cooking, and then I'm going to be working my PowerPoint today, and just trying to get my head together, I pretty much wake up every morning and think the same thing, and so there's a lot of issues that I'm dealing with, as far as like how to come out of my depression and stuff. I hope that that one day, I don't know if there's any hope for that, because, you know, I understand that people benefit tremendously from this sort of crime. They do. They benefit tremendously from this kind of crime. That's one of the reasons why you see the lady over at Act One still has her job, and she doesn't have to worry about it. She can commit all kinds of heinous crimes, which to me, this is a crime against humanity. It is, okay? It is by law, everything else, okay? But they don't have to worry about their lives, you know? And when I think about these sort of things, I honestly and truthfully keep thinking, you know, I don't think it's a good idea for people to have children nowadays. I just don't. You know, I don't really. The earth is a terrible place to live. And, you know, if I was to have more children, you know, which I will not have any more children, that's ridiculous at this age. If I was to have a child, though, I would teach them or encourage them as much as they possibly could, if I could, to be very proactive in inventing things and being autonomous. Like, I would not encourage them to go into the workforce. I really would not encourage that. You know, unfortunately, I don't have any other options but to look for work. But if I was to, you know, have a young girl or a young one, okay, to start off now in this world, I would encourage them, you know, learn your skill and do what you can to be creative and not have to go into the workforce, because it is a very abusive system, very abusive, and I think that's just how it is, you know. I really do. You know, so I don't know about Cal Chambers, what do you call it, seminar and their new training and all this other stuff, because I think they're going to start, I think they have already started, or they're about to start, whatever, I don't know, training people on harassment, not just managers. I think they're going to be doing this to, you know, the entire staff now. I think that's what I got the notification I got. I didn't read the whole thing, but, you know, like I said, you know, oftentimes these issues go in one ear and out the other. And really, it depends on management, you know, who's actually managing and the kind of personality type that they have. I personally think that makes a big difference, because, you know, oftentimes when you're dealing with people who, narcissistic type people, people who like to triangulate, bully, they bully you into the situations, and then of course the solutions that they offer is to bully you some more. Like, you know, I was bullied over at the Farmer's Place, as well as working in Chatsworth, for, I believe, the same issue, or part of the same issue. I think my sister Tanya and my ex-sister Tanya and her retarded husband Jim thought that I was seeing Stephen Lyles, and they were bitching about my hair and God knows what else, and my religious beliefs and all this other stuff. And so it carries on from one place to another. So, you know, these so-called professional people get together, and they're the ones who started, right? And so their solution to the issue is to isolate the person that they are bullying, and then start making ultimatums. Okay? So obviously, people like this don't belong in management positions. They don't, okay? They need to be someone who is serving the people, meaning they need to be able to resolve issues that are going to be fair to everyone, okay? Now, obviously, this issue is unfair any way you look at it. It is unfair. I don't care how you slice it. These people owe me a lifetime, okay? Lifetime. And it is just a very evil system. I don't care what anyone says, okay? Because you got this person, my ex-sister Tanya and Jim, who come in uninvited, no one asks their opinion, and they take over the situation, okay? They are able to convince people that they have authority. Nobody asks authority. You know, I look at the management structure, and there's so many violations, you know, and then they don't understand why. They don't understand why. And even when they do, it's like, you know, it's not safe. And especially if I had a daughter, I would be worried about her all the time. I would be very concerned about my daughter going into the workforce. I really would. I probably wouldn't rest, you know, because it is absolutely, it's crazy. It is crazy. So we'll see. I would love to be able to mingle with other people and talk about, people who give me seminars and training. Do they actually do any follow-ups with these companies and see, how many sexual harassment complaints do they get after this particular training? Because I'm going to tell you what, it doesn't seem to, they don't understand it. They don't understand it because they still fall back into this bullshit behavior, and so, which I'm like really tired of. So anyway, so yeah, you see people who accommodate stalkers. You see people who get involved in religious issues when they really shouldn't. Just people who make bad decisions, and it's all over the place. You know what I mean? It's just, and I think it's a good thing that they're trying to provide adequate training so people can understand this stuff, so we can solve this problem. And I can tell why, I understand why they are bringing this down to people outside of the management positions, because everybody needs to know this stuff. Everybody needs to know this stuff, okay? And it's information, but do people appreciate knowledge? That's my question. Do they appreciate it? I don't know, So anyway, baby steps in my life, I focus on the small things, and right now the only thing I can do is prepare my food tonight and, do a little PowerPoint, which I'm working in segments on this one. And then also what I learn in my lessons, I incorporate it. Like, I'd like to add a little bit of audio as well as my voice into this to go along with the slides. And so these are things I'm learning, and as I'm learning, I like to work with it. You know what I mean? And then it becomes normal to me. And so yeah, this is my little project. This is what I'm doing. And these little things, these little steps are important for me. Because it's going to bring me some happiness, I guess, because I feel like I did something. And that's it. The world is an evil place. It is an evil place. Very evil. Topsy-turvy, upside down. What's black is white. What's white is black. What's right is wrong. It's really, it's backwards. And it's just like that. Like, I was thinking, when I was younger, I used to have the habit. Like, I wanted to see if there were any spelling errors in books that I would get when I was a kid, and that was very rare to find any spelling errors in books. And I think nowadays we have things like spell check. We have things like some people use Grammarly. I don't know much about this program, but I know it's available, and you can get a subscription to it. And they have all these options to be excellent writers, right? And I look online, some of the articles that are published online, and there's a lot of misspelled words. And don't get me wrong, I think I write very well, right? But even I sometimes mix up a word. Like, for example, I'll mean to say my, and I'll put me in there. So then I have to go back and check everything and reread it. And then even spell check sometimes doesn't check it. So I have to go each paragraph, reread it, and make sure. But, it's like the standards are so low. I was reading an article about good journalism. It was basically, this is what this person said. They were saying that journalism doesn't have to be well written. It doesn't have to have, you don't have to have good writing skills to be a good journalist. And see, that to me is just the exact opposite of everything that I've always believed or held true, because in order to be a good writer, you should be able to, number one, get the attention of the audience or whoever, your readers, immediately. It should be, fully covered in detail from the start to finish. And yes, I do believe that writing skills are important. It's like all these people are just taking things out and throwing them out the window like they don't matter. I'm tired of the sloth culture. It's a sloth culture, just like activism that Kara was talking about. How nobody seems to care. They want to penalize people who eat apples at their desk. They think it's okay to write sloppy articles. It's okay to have a misspelled word in an article. It's not. Okay, I understand it happens sometimes. Okay, but It's not okay. It's not. I mean, where are the standards? Where are the standards? I don't understand. I don't understand anymore. I really don't. But anyway, this world isn't for me. So, and I understand that. It's not. So when I get people who try to bring me more into it, I understand I live in this world, okay? I can't escape that. There's certain things I can't avoid, like taxes and death. I can't avoid those, and I accept that, okay? But there's certain things, there's this kind of foolish bullshit that goes on in society that I don't want it. You know what I mean? And I can see why some people want to do everything they can to protect their kids from it. Because it is bullshit. Some people take their kids out, they put them in private schools, or they homeschool them because they don't want to deal with the substandard lessons or whatever that's going on in the school system. I'm not saying all school systems are like that, but I can see right now that standards are really low. They're very, very low. Like I mentioned when I was in high school, people learn skills, like auto shop, home economics, things that were a benefit to people's living life. Learning how to cook, learning how to sew, learning how to repair cars, learning how to, not just, the academics that, lessons that you need to know, reading, writing, or whatever, that sort of stuff. Everybody needs to know that, right? But it was also learning life skills, okay? And, I don't know. And I was reading about how a lot of college students, they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to iron their clothes, and I'm just like, gosh, why? No, I'm very unhappy with the world standards. I am, okay? And, maybe people like being that way, but I don't want any part of it. I don't. I'm trying to get through this life the best way I possibly can without being infected by, moronic bullshit. I don't want it, and so we just kind of move on that way. And the sad part is there's a lot of persecution because the people who love being slothful morons, they try to drag you into their little group club, and it's like, no, that's all right. I'll pass. I don't need to be a member of that club. The sun's coming up, and like I said, it stopped raining. So I can turn my windshield wipers off. But every day to me is just like, I'm learning more coping skills. I am. Every day I keep thinking, okay, this is reality. This is the way it is, And so what do you do? I understand. I will never expect the world to change, okay? The world's never going to change. The only thing I can do, and each person can do, is make their life livable by taking it back and putting it under your control. What can you control? Okay? I can't control that the world is filled with corruption. I can't do anything about that. Okay? But all I can do is make sure that I don't become like that. I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? If I know something is deep down is wrong, I'm going to do what's right for me. And that's what other people should do. Just like the people who take their kids out of public school and they decide to homeschool them, or they take them to a private school or whatever. They have to do what's right for them, come what may. It doesn't matter what other people say. They have to make those decisions for themselves. And peer pressure is not worth giving into, and I'll tell you why. Because if people really love you, they're going to accept you and know what's good for what's good for you. They respect the decisions that you make because they know it's for your overall well-being. They put that in first. That's what love is, okay? When they pressure you to bend to their will, it's about domination, okay? And they don't really like you anyway. They're just trying to dominate you, is basically what it is. So you need to understand that, identify the sincere people in your life. And I'm going to be honest with you people now. The sad reality is that there's very few sincere people in life, okay? So you gravitate towards the ones that have a true heart, and you love them, and you give them all the affection and that you can, and you put them on pedestals, okay? You put them on pedestals. That's my personal belief. For people that you care about, who are worthy of it, you put them on pedestals. You do things for them that you would not do for other people. Okay? And then the rest of the people, you deal with them politely. You're cordial to them. And that's about it. I mean, you can't. This is the world, and people have really bad ways about them, and so that's just the way it is, and that's my way of living, and that's how I see things, and that's how I think a lot of people are trying to. People, for example, who take their kids out of public school or whatever, who make certain decisions that may not be, ideal or favored among, their peers. But you have to make those decisions for yourself, And if somebody tries to put pressure on you for making a decision that is right for you, you don't have a friend there, okay? You got something else. You probably got some demon on your back, like my ex-sister Tanya, and my brother-in-law is what you got. So think about that, Anyway, make most of the most of life, I'm going to say life is a very hard thing, and it's very heartbreaking at times. But you have to put yourself first, okay? You have to put yourself first. And you have to put the people that you love who are deserving of your love. And you put them, like I said, you treat them like, you show your care to them. And for other people, you're just polite and just keep it moving. But don't expect the world to change. Don't expect the world to be a good place. Expect the world to be a chaotic, evil place. With all kinds of fuckery and everything else you can imagine under the sun, But when you get home, you put on your music, you get in your pajamas, put your little slippers on, or whatever it is that you do to get into your own environment. No matter how dorky you are or how goofy you are, you be that way in your own home. And you do the things that you like to do, And be glad that you stepped out of that zone, okay? Because the minute you step out the door, you're hitting a war zone. You're going to deal with people's gossip, the eye rolling, the backstabbing, and all this stuff, It's like you don't need that drama, There is a beauty about, there are some things that I like about coming out here in the morning. Like, even though it's kind of a barren place, like when I look around, I'm driving, like I'm seeing a lot of tumbleweeds and stuff like that. But it is quiet, it is quiet. There are times like, in the day, and I'll get out for a break or whatever, and I'll kind of walk around and just kind of look around and just, I like no one's there, you know what I mean? It feels nice to do that, people, I can get along with people. I really can. I think what puts me against other people is the fact that my ex-family has always made issues that, and yeah, I am a different person. I'm very different. But I can relate to people. You know what I mean? I know what it is to struggle. I know what it's like to raise a child. I can make conversation with people. But when I sense or detect that they're corrupt, or they're, kind of fishing for me around for whatever, I'm going to avoid those people like the plague, okay? Because I do. I mean, I enjoy being around other women, although a lot of women are very backstabbing and competitive and catty and whatever. But I enjoy being around other women, I do. I like talking about girlish things. I wish I had a girlfriend here in this town. I wish I did. You know what I mean? Because it would be great to swap recipes and, go shopping and make clothes together and, do things together. Yeah, I would really, really like that. I would love that. But, you can't trust people. You can't trust them. And, you hope one day you find somebody, but you want to bring sincere people into your life. That's so important, and they are very rare. They're very few and far between, but hopefully one day, you find one. And then, once you do, you make sure you're there for them, because, you gotta cherish people that mean stuff to you, that means something to you, and make it significant. Like, if you care about someone, don't treat them the same way you would treat everyone else. Don't give everyone else the same treatment as you give that person, because you want to value that person. That person deserves more respect, more love, more care than the average Joe walking down the street. You know what I mean? So That's how I believe. You know, I treat people that way. I believe that love is sacred, all forms of love, whether that be platonic love, the love that you feel for your neighbor, whatever, all kinds of love, okay? Love is very sacred to me and very special to me. So when I have a friend, you know, I treat them like gold, you know? Anyway, so I'm getting close to my destination, and I'm going to wrap this video up. Looking forward to making my recipe today. You know, I was thinking, you know, it'd be kind of nice. I can't really do anything about that right now, but maybe for Christmas, I was thinking about getting myself a new bowl set. You know, I know that's kind of lame, but you know, I have some bowls that I got at the dollar store, which are still in good shape. But you know, I saw some really nice ones. I like the Pioneer ladies, Pioneer woman. I might get for myself for Christmas this year, right? Because I like eating out of different bowls, you know. I know it's silly, but like I used to have these bowls that came from this grocery store, and they have little happy faces on it, and I enjoy eating my food and enjoying the cute little face smiling back at me, right? So I want to, anyway, but the Pioneer woman, she has great designs, and they're very homespun, and they have a good feeling to them, and colorful, you know. So I have these bowls right now, and they're getting chipped and stuff, and I'm like, you know, I want to get myself a Christmas present this year. I do. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself some big bowls. Make everything a big deal in your life. If you're going to have a bowl of soup, then make that bowl beautiful. Okay, make it pleasant, okay, because it's a shitty world out there. It's a shitty world out there, and the least you can do is have a beautiful bowl to eat your soup out, you know. That's how it is these days, you know what I mean? I'm improvising. I'm doing the best I can. Wrapping up this video. Have a great day.